Hey, good afternoon, my world history super peeps. We are just going to keep on going, cover about three topics within the next two chapters, and then I think we'll be good. All right, so you guys can look over these first few slides. I want to focus on the Armenian Genocide, which really took place between 1915 and 1917. So we are in the midst of World War I when this genocide is occurring. Okay. Um, the biggest difference between the Armenians living in the Ottoman Empire and the Turks is that the Armenians were Christian. And of course, our Turks were more than likely what religion? I hope you are saying Islam at this point. And so there was already a huge difference. But I also think this genocide occurred because of jealousy. And the Armenians are the ones that had the money and they had the intellectual ability. So they were smarter than the Turks and they had more money than the Turks. And the Turks were jealous. Oh my goodness, that totally sounds like Hitler and the Jews, right? Because the Jews are the ones that had all of the money. Uh, See, history does totally repeat itself. And so then you just can't start killing people because they're wealthier than you are. You have to come up with a scheme, right? And so they started accusing the Armenians that they were Russian spies. And now they had an excuse to start the killing. Okay. So I want to read this little excerpt here about the genocide. On April 24th, 1915, the Armenian Genocide began. That day, the Turkish government arrested and executed several hundred Armenian intellectuals. Oh, good. Kill the smart people. After that, ordinary Armenians were turned out of their homes and sent on death marches through the Mesopotamian desert without food or water. Frequently, the marchers were stripped naked and forced to walk under the scorching sun until they dropped dead. People who stopped to rest were shot. At the same time, the Young Turks created a special organization, which in turn organized killing squads or butcher battalions to carry out, as one officer put it, the liquidation of the Christian elements. These killing squads were often made up of murderers and other ex convicts. They drowned people in rivers, threw them off of cliffs, crucified them, and burned them alive. In short order, the Turkish countryside was littered with Armenian corpses. Records show that during this Turkification campaign, government squads also kidnapped children, converted them to Islam, and gave them to Turkish families. You know who that sounds like to me? It sounds like the terrorist group Boko Haram in today's world in Nigeria. In some places, they raped women and forced them to join Turkish harems or serve as slaves. Muslim families moved into the homes of departed Armenians and seized their property. In 1922, when the genocide was over, there were just 388,000 Armenians remaining in the Ottoman Empire. Okay, and so these numbers are huge. Look at these. Within 7 months, 600,000 were killed, 500,000 were deported, 400,000 died while marching through the desert. By 1915, over 1 million were dead. By 1918, another 400,000 were killed. And so the total estimate killed within this genocide is 2 million Armenians. Today in Turkey, it is completely illegal, excuse me, to talk about the genocide. They say it never happened. So you will not find this story, this historical event in the Turkish history books at all. Eventually, Russia, France, Great Britain agreed that the Ottoman Empire was committing these crimes against humanity and civilization. So, but here's the thing about genocide, okay? Is a lot of times we know it's happening. And when I say we, I mean other nations. And we always apologize years later, okay? So this happened in 1915, 1917. American news outlets had been reluctant to use the word genocide, and we don't like to use that word, okay? The phrase Armenian genocide did not appear until the New York Times published it in 2004. And then in 2010, our US Congress voted to finally call this a genocide. Crazy, isn't it? I'm telling you, that's how it is with almost every genocide. We just don't like to use that word. Okay. Um, crazy, crazy, crazy. So there's my first topic that I wanted to cover. Here is my second one. And we'll look at this map here. And we know that after World War I, Britain and France went to the Middle East and they basically, I don't want to use the word colonize. Colonize is a strong word, but they made these areas a mandate. So basically, they controlled them. And so you've got France taking Syria and Lebanon, and Britain taking Iraq and Palestine. Okay, so here is Palestine, which today this is Jordan and Israel. Okay, but see, Israel is not on our map, so I want you to take that in for a minute. Okay, take it in, because this part's kind of confusing, so you're going to have to follow me on this one. All right. Okay, so from 1920 to 1948, Britain is ruling Palestine, that area in yellow. Okay. So the Ottoman Empire breaks up, and first of all, we just don't know who is going to live in Palestine. Okay, so who's going to be allowed to live there? Because we've got two different ethnic groups here. We've got the Jewish people, and then we have the Arab people. Okay, so here's the big conflict. The Arabs feel like they were promised this land by Britain if they fought against the Ottoman Turks and helped break them up. Okay,